All right, so the phone overheated, and gotta hate that. So I'm probably gonna have to get a better phone, but all I hear about is people having overheating problems on their phones, and I don't know which phone to get at this point, because I remember Ride Along Gang got him a new phone and it overheats. Travel Fund 69 at Hagerstown, it's a pretty good hill right here. At Hagerstown, in a restaurant, his phone was overheating. So these streams might be pretty short because I had to let my phone cool off. Like I said, we had a cold front come in last night, and it's 103, 100 degrees, depending on where you're at out here. And I took the case off the outside of the phone. Maybe the rubber was acting like some kind of heat sink, which doesn't make any sense. But that is what it is. So it really jacks with my train of thought when I'm in the middle of a rant. So back to where I was. If you're popping pills, you might want to stop, because those pills are coming from China. Probably 70 to 90% of most all the drugs and pills are not made here in the United States. So maybe 30% is. Maybe that's even lower now. So if we're dependent on foreign drugs, just like oil right now, that's probably not a good thing. So if you're on blood thinners or something, you might want to see if you can figure out how to get off of that stuff. All right, let's see. We died with the, I'm trying to read the chat while I'm riding. Yeah, so at least the video is a little smoother, but now it looks like using this wider angle lens is causing my phone to overheat more. But we'll see. I turned off some kind of protection, or turned on some kind of protection. So we'll see if it keeps it streaming or what's happening here. So I got the camera pointed a little bit more down at the ground right now, just to try to read the chat a little bit. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start researching. I'm probably going to end up getting a military phone, something with military specs. I don't care about the optics, because all modern camera phones, all modern smartphones are going to have pretty decent cameras in it. This is a $250 Samsung A51. So there's nothing magical about this thing, except for the fact that Samsung has good optics in their cameras. All right, so where was I? I think I was talking about the GM electric vehicle and pill popping. Some of the things that I heard on the radio today amazed me. How this girl was drooling over this $300,000 car. How are you going to pay for something like that? How is that the answer to the pollution in the world? Isn't the whole point of having an electric vehicle is to cut down on pollution? Isn't that the reason? Look how much pollution it's going to create to have to generate $300,000. Hope this guy sees me. $300,000 to pay for that car. Think about how many times you'd have to drive back and forth to work to pay for that car. You're going to have to drive a lot. So, when the stream crashed earlier, it popped up and said unknown error. It could have been that the phone overheated, but I talked to Polish Agnes earlier, and she says Prism is crashing on her a lot too. So it could be the latest update. is buggy. All software is buggy and garbage. And when you see an update on software, they don't tell you the truth most of the time. But if they do tell you the truth, it'll say right on there, fix bugs. They're always fixing bugs. So, can you afford a $300,000 General Motors? Here's another thing. This is the craziest part. They say they're going to outsell Tesla in electric vehicles in the US in the near future. So here's the guy living in his, I don't know if you can see it, but there's furniture and chairs and a bed. There's somebody living in a storage building over there. That's sad. It's come down to that, but it's probably due to property taxes too high. But anyway, so the president of the General Motors Corporation, she said, we're going to outsell Tesla in electric vehicles within the next 2 or 3 years. So their first flagship electric vehicle that they claim is going to do this is a $300,000 electric vehicle. How many of those you really think they're going to sell? Oh, guess how many electric vehicles General Motors sold in the United States last year? Well, before we say that number, how many of them were recalled because the batteries were catching on fire? At least 70% of them were recalled because the batteries are catching on fire. I'm trying to cross the road here, but it's too busy, so I'm just going to keep circling. Or I'm going to cross the road when it's not so busy instead of me trying to cross the road. So they sold about 25,000 EVs in the US last year. 25,000. How many did Tesla sell? Close to 360 to 400,000 just in the US last year. Now, you really think General Motors, with all the batteries burning up, is going to outsell Tesla, the leading and electric car companies in the United States? Oh, come on. I'll never make it across this road. There's too many people moving to Texas. Go away! Go back to California, Mexico, wherever you came from. Please. All right. Almost lost it there for a second. You know, there's a little saying, if you have nothing to lose, you lose it. So the most dangerous person in the world, I know you've heard this before, is a person that doesn't have anything to lose. So what I'm telling you is don't mess with me. Yeah, buddy. Like I said, the most dangerous person in the world is a person that doesn't have anything to lose. So don't mess with me, is all I got to say. Alright, so I made it across the busy road. Going around. I'm going to get in the shade over here and catch up with the chat and see how the phone's doing on its temperature. Alright, we're going to be able to cross this road the first time. We're going to our little train stop. Train's good, car's bad. Woohoo! Train's good, car's bad. Woohoo! Train's good, car's bad. Cars are bad. Trains are good. We want more trains, right? We want electric trains. That's going to save the world. Alright, so if the video is smoother and better looking than it was the other day, can you put a 1 in the chat if the video looks better? Alright. I'm drinking some water. So far, everyone says 1. Loud Red Base said Sun Honey, Marjo. Nightbot didn't say 1. Ashley, Lisa. All right, cool. All right. So if you can afford a $300,000 electric vehicle, put 7 in the chat. Put the number 7 in the chat if you can afford a $300,000 electric vehicle. Oh, I guess here's another cool thing I can do right here that I couldn't do before real easy. So I can set my bike right here, and I can, now that I have a gimbal attached, I'll show you what I got going on here. I got it where I can just push my little gimbal out like this. Look at that. So this is how I got it mounted. So I've strapped, Velcroed those little noodles, the swimming pool noodles. I cut it and I Velcroed it here, here, and down here. I got some little fittings down here to stabilize it. So that's how I mounted the gimbal. I don't know if you can see the gimbal in the reflection. That's how I'm mounting this gimbal. Can't really see it, but it's a smooth 4 gimbal. So yeah, now I can walk around with my gimbal, and we can walk around the building, and we should have pretty decent looking video. I got it set at 24 frames per second. I'm going to experiment with 30 next time to see if one is smoother than the other. Maybe it's the frames per second that's crashing the app. But my thoughts were, if I'm doing 24 frames per second, which is film quality, in the movie theaters, that's generally 24 frames per second. Your television's either 30 or 60 most of the time. But my thoughts on it, the Kodak could give you a better quality picture with less frames per second, because you really only need at least 24 frames per second to see a smooth image. So anything lower than 24 frames per second, the eye can start seeing an image that's glitchy. Even if it could, I would not buy it. Yeah, let me see if there's any 7s in the chat. Laugh out loud. What number is, if you could build a 3? It's a General Motors 7. Loud Red, you're gaslighting me. Yeah, Loud Red said 7. My ass. I know you're BSing me now. You're just gaslighting me. So look at this. What does this mean? What does that mean? Here's our Elgin train station. Woo! Capital Area Rural Transportation System. So yeah, this is their plans, by the way. So they're going to stack and pack. This is like Agenda 21 on steroids. Now I guess it's Agenda 30. This is the beginnings of the stack and pack. They're probably going to have condos all the way down beside this track here. Ooh, that gravel's sharp. So this track goes all the way into Austin. And then this track actually curves around and goes pretty close to the property. So they're going to have condos all down there for sure. They're developing that area. They'll probably have businesses and Starbucks and all kinds of crap along here. And this will be the bus stop that'll take you into Austin, so you can go do some wine tasting in the hill country or some kind of BS. I don't know what it's going to be, but yeah, I just don't get the whole train station thing in a town that's this size. But of course, this town's going to grow like crazy. It already is growing like crazy. What am I saying? But it's going to grow like crazy-er. Even more crazy than it already is. All right, so we're going to keep on riding here. So yeah, that's a no cool thing. Now I can just slip my gimbal right back in my little setup here, and I just restrap it with this Velcro. So let's see how painless this is going to be. It's going to slide back in here, just like that. And I'll take this little Velcro strap, and I'll go around here like that. Let's see. There we go. Now we're going to readjust our gimbal here to more of a riding position. like that. So it's 100 degrees in the shade. So we had a cold front, like I said, we had a cold front come in last night, and instead of it being 106 today, like it normally should, it really hasn't been that hot this year. Cookie cutter house. Yep, they're all going to be cookie. There's a bunch of cookie cutter homes already. Maybe we'll go ride through that neighborhood, and I'll show you where all the cookie cutter homes are, if I can keep a stream going. All right. I really don't want to buy a new phone to stream my rides, but I am going to start researching. I want to find an app that's more stable. But, you know, you talk to somebody. Ride Along Gang uses an app called Camerafy. Some people use the Streamlabs app. Most people that stream the convoy use Prism. If you're a new streamer, you'll probably end up using, well, YouTube. You can't stream from the YouTube app if you're a new streamer, so I'll take that back. But you would think that YouTube would make an app worth using, but theirs is actually the worst when it comes to streaming as far as quality. We're at the fire department here. Now let's give y'all a good shot of the volunteer fire department. We'll come at it from this parking lot here. I used to do some IT work for them. Used to work on their computers and stuff like that back in the day, and it's a lot bigger now. But yeah, look how much it's grown. It used to only be like 4 bays, and now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bays. So it's a 9-bay department now, and it used to only be 4. All right. Which way do we want to go? So, when I talk about people popping pills, I'm talking about all kinds of pills. Psychotropic, blood thinners. Because when you go to the doctor, what do? They're not there to help you. They're there to push a pill on you. So they're not there to... Let's go to the park. They're not there to fix your problem. All right, so the gimbal just went wonky. There we go. Gimbal just overheated. Something's going on with the gimbal. This is why gimbals suck. All right, it's back. Well, no, it's Houston, we have a problem. Can you see the sky? I can see clearly now. All right, so this is why I'm probably going back to a static mount. The gimbal's probably overheating. Ooh, yeah, it is hot. Yeah, the gimbal is officially overheated. So, I should have brought my arm strap. Hold on. All right. Let's see if that helps. Wow. So, this is why I was never going to put a gimbal on my bike. Yeah, I think this thing is toast. Yep. It's got a red light flashing on the bottom. So that probably means that it's overheated on the gimbal. So it's got plenty of battery, but there's a red light that's flashing on the bottom LED that I've never seen before. So I'm going to go back to a static mount, I guess, because it's just too much work. Gimbals are not made to be on moving things like a bicycle or a motorcycle. Gimbals are made to be held in your hand, and That's just the way it is. So this is why I never put the gimbal on the bike, because I knew this was going to happen. Now that just gives me one more thing to rant about. So let's head to the park. See if this gimbal can cool off for a second. But appreciate the gimbal there, Jay Corey. If you're still watching. Yeah, look at it. It's starting to point up to the sky now. Whee! You would think they'd make a gimbal for a bike, but they don't. They make a gimbal for a bike for a GoPro. I can't find one for a phone for live streamers. If anybody knows of a gimbal that will work for a bicycle, that's made to mount on the handlebars, can you email me, frytvnow@gmail.com? That would be awesome. Because I've looked and looked and looked. There's stuff out there for GoPros, but not smartphones. I guess nobody thinks you're going to be live streaming on a bike. Is that what it is? So whatever's going on with the gimbal, it seems to have cleared up for a second. So this is where technology gets in your way. Remember the other day when I was saying eliminate everything in your life that tells you no? Well, guess what's telling me no right now? Take a guess. What's telling me no right now? Nice cool breeze here. Alright, so yeah, the gimbal is telling me no. So maybe I can get a different gimbal that can handle the vibration more. Who knows? Like I said, I have it mounted to where it would experience the least amount of vibration. The further I put it back on the bike, the better it's going to be. So maybe I'll try to mount the gimbal closer to the seat and off of the front wheel, because it's still hanging over the front wheel too much. But that means I'm going to bump it with my legs. So yeah, your brain, no. My brain is not telling me no. The gimbal is. The gimbal's telling me, nope, you can't stream. Okay, so we're coming up on some ducks here. He's not going to move. They're like petrified ducks. There's more ducks. Happy ducks. Yeah. There's a web page called Gimbal Garage. Does BMX and motorcycles. All right, Gimbal Garage. I'll see if I can remember that. Gimbal Garage. All right. Because, yeah, this ain't happening here. I mean, it's a good test, but it affects my ability to rant, and we don't want that to happen now, do we? It messed up my train of thought. Actually, when my stream crashed, that's whenever I almost got too pissed off to rant. I know that doesn't make sense, but I rant more when I'm not so angry. I know that sounds backwards. But when I'm in a zone, it's easier for me to not force a rant, because I don't like to force rants. I want it to be natural. I do take notes about topics that I do want to discuss, but sometimes when I'm discussing those topics, it ends up in a rant. I forgot to put air in my tire again, so it keeps making me think that I'm running on a flat tire. But it is a little bit more exhausting riding with a flat or a low tire, but I'm getting used to it. It's actually challenging. It's actually a challenge to ride with a flat tire. It's not flat, but it's lower than it should be. I can definitely tell it's dragging me down. All right, let's go to the other park. It looks like the stream's going to stay up. The Gimby. So, Basehead says the gimbal looks good. Yeah, the video footage definitely looks better. The main reason why it looks better is because not the gimbal, because the gimbal's not really doing anything. It's the I found in the app where I can use my built-in stabilization camera lens. The wide angle has built-in stabilization on this camera. So I found that setting inside of Prism. So that's what's really doing all the good stuff. And I'll prove that to myself when I take the gimbal off the bike and take another ride. That will be proven to myself that the gimbal's really not helping anymore. It's all done in software now. And that could be what's causing the phone to overheat a little bit more. It's because the processor's working harder to stabilize that video. I still want to come over here and trim that tree. Hey, there's somebody exercising. I want to get out of his way. Where's he going? That's not something I ever got into. Was I tried it for a while. But jogging is too hard on my joints. Bike riding, good. Jogging, bad. Just like trains, good. Cars, bad. Woohoo! All right, here we go. Happy time. The stream's been up for 27 minutes. We're having a good Friday. So maybe that setting that the phone told me to do will stop Prism from crashing now. We'll see. Which way do we want to go? I'm changing my mind. I'm going this way. All right. So eliminate anything in your life that tells you no. Get rid of all the pill popping. Stop all your addictions. These are things to get ready. And somebody left a comment, there's nothing coming, the other day in one of the videos that I posted about get ready for what's coming, or whatever the title was. There's nothing coming. It's already here. It's just how bad is it going to get is the question. So that's the person that posted that comment was probably just trolling me to see what kind of reaction I get out of me. So there's my reaction. You're a fool. You're a fool if you think it hasn't already hit and it's not going to get worse. So, how convenient was it for Biden to get the old vid whenever the day before he said he had cancer? Was that a slip up that he said he had cancer? Or was he talking about he had cancer when he was a kid? And this is the stupidest thing I heard him say lately. He got cancer because there was a film of oil on his windshield. So every time that his mom turned on the windshield wipers, it was wiping oil off. Okay, how are you going to get oil on your windshield? How is that possible? So you're telling me there's so much smog and oil in the air that it's going to collect on your windshield overnight. So when you get in your car in the morning, it's going to wipe off all this residue of oil. Okay, whatever. But that's what gave him cancer. What kind of cancer did he have? You know, the way I look at it is everybody has cancer in their body at all times. Here's going to be a test for the gimbal and everything right here. Let's see what happens right here. So we're going to be going really fast. I'm just coasting, by the way. I'm not pedaling anymore. This is a good test when we hit this bridge. All right, it stayed on. Coming in hot. Coming in really hot. Wow. So the gimbal's a little sideways, but not too bad. All right. And I'm sure you heard about the backpacks that we're going to have to pay for. I'm kind of getting sick of subsidizing other people's kids. I really don't like dumbing down other people's kids. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm forced to pay property taxes at the barrel of a gun, because if you don't pay property taxes, a sheriff officer will come to your house with a gun and evict you from your house, and they will take you away from your house or put you in jail, or a combination of the two, if you don't pay the slave tax. So I'm forced by the barrel of a gun to dumb the kids down, because some of that money, they say, goes to the public full systems. Hey Brett, what's happening? Enjoyed the panel last night. That's fries and flying. That's fries and flying. That's fries are flying. I'm trying to see what you're saying there, basehead. I'm almost able to read the chat pretty good while I'm riding. So yeah, I have no kids. I'm not married. I don't have kids. I don't plan on getting married. I haven't been married since 2000. I think I got divorced. I was married for 3 years. And I learned real quick that I don't think I'm good with relationships. So I'm kind of a loner. So I'm not kind of a loner. I am a loner. I've always been a loner. But yeah, no kids, don't plan on having kids, not married, not gonna get married, no plans on that crap. But yet I still pay for everybody else's kids. And I think if I'm gonna be forced to pay for something, that I should get a big discount, because I'm not putting anybody in that system. So I don't have anybody sucking on that system. So really, instead of me paying $8,000 a year in freaking property tax, maybe $500 a year in property tax would be something I could kind of handle without ranting about. But $8,000 a year with no kids, that's ridiculous. Oh, and I need to buy a $300,000 electric vehicle too. This is going to get rid of the pollution, right? This is the problem. The way to get rid of pollution is tax people more, tax them with the social credit score, because we're going to have a social credit score, and we're also going to have a carbon footprint score. And I heard this the other day on a commercial. If you buy my air conditioning unit, it will cut your carbon footprint in half. They said that on an air conditioner commercial. If you want to cut your carbon footprint in half, buy our air conditioning equipment, because it's so efficient. You know what an efficient air conditioner is? Somebody ranting on a freaking bicycle barefoot. That's a pretty efficient air conditioner. Ooh, this is one hell of a hill. So yeah, I was talking to Brett last night. When you ride and you rant, it dehydrates you more, because you're burning more calories, you're breathing different. You can't breathe normally because you have to talk. So it's definitely more of a workout. When you're riding and ranting. But I'm really getting sick of the bullshit. Sorry about the cuss word there. I do my best not to drop those. But yeah, I'm getting sick of it. The The Elon Musk worship. Okay, here we go. Who invented PayPal? Of course, I already was leading the witness there, or spilled the beans, or spoiler alert. Who invented PayPal? Well, here comes a car. So, can anybody tell me in the chat who's the inventor of PayPal? Let's go this way. All right. Elon did. Nope. And that's my point. It's this freaking Elon worship. Elon did not invent PayPal. He did not write the code. He did not invent PayPal. But yet, that's the amount of brainwashing out there. And I know I said this the other day when my dad was in the chat room. He thinks I'm jealous of Elon. He thinks that's why I talk trash about him. I'm not jealous of a freaking liar, okay? First of all, Dad, I'm not jealous of somebody that lies to people about launching a freaking car into space. That's a lie. Going to Mars by the year 2024. There's two lies there. You can't go to Mars, and he's not going to do it. That's another lie. I was going to have a Cybertruck out a year ago. Lie. And then this whole bullshit about him inventing PayPal. No. A company out of Silicon Valley, starts with a C, can't remember, started PayPal. Elon Musk, just like he always does, he comes into a company that looks like it's got potential, and he'll merge with it and invest with it, and then he'll take credit for it. He had nothing to do with the code. He did not start PayPal. It was three guys that started PayPal. Luke, I think is one of the guys' name. Luke, Nick, and whatever. Look it up on Wikipedia. All the information's right there. Elon came along 2 years afterwards when the company went public, and came along there with his company called XCOM or some kind of crap. And then he started trying to get credit for PayPal. So he did not invent PayPal. He had nothing to do with the original PayPal, where it came from. And he wasn't there at the company for very long. He got replaced pretty damn quick. So that's how much the Elon worship is out there. Is that kind of garbage. Oh, way too many vehicles. So I'm not jealous of a liar. Now, would I like to have a little bit of the fiat currency that he has in his bank account? That probably wouldn't hurt my feelings, but am I jealous of that? No, not at all. Because I'm proud of what I have. Everything I have, I've earned. So here in Texas, this is our sheriff right here. That's a truck. It says sheriff on it. I don't know if you can see that. He's hauling a cow. So he's either animal control. Let's see if we can catch him. He's either animal control. You see that? So this cow might have been out on the road somewhere. Let's see if we can keep up with him. So I wonder where they're going to take the cow. So yeah, he's probably animal control. Yeah, I know that guy actually. I know him. Yep, he's animal control. So yeah. He's probably stopping to get something to eat. See how he probably just picked up that cow on the side of the road or something. So yeah, I bet you didn't know that about old Elon. He's trying to take credit for PayPal when all he did was invest his or merge his company. I'm going to adjust the gimbal here. And yeah, there's another Elon thing that's BS. Let's see, let's go to the drive-thru here. See what we got. All right, deluxe original, $10. And I don't know if y'all can see that. $11, $12, $10. Wow. We can get a Cinnabon for $5, or you can get a 4-pack for $17. Wow. Yeah, stuff's getting expensive. And like the other day, we went through Dairy Queen's drive-thru, and the lady said the prices are not accurate. They're going up so fast that we can't keep up with changing the board. So they're just making the prices up as they go. Like I guess every week or so, they're changing the price of their product to keep up with the, I guess you'd call it inflation, but the high prices of stuff. So this is where we were the other day. You want to do something crazy and cross the highway on a weekend? Let's give it a shot. Let's live life crazy. Let's do that. So we're going to cross the highway. We're going to just kind of go slow here. Let's see, where would it be safer? Let's go up here. We're going to cross up here. Is that person taking a Yui? Nope. All right. So that car's coming really fast. I'm just going to go up here and sit on the yield sign right here. Oh. We'll go through Sonic. Alright, so this is where you get run over because people want to let you through, but then they don't see you on a bike. So I'm just gonna wait. They're trying to let this lady through, but she wouldn't go. I guess she's going to Sonic or something, I don't know. But I'm gonna wait it out, and then I'll go here in a second. Let these other cars stop. Is this guy gonna stop? Yeah, he's gonna stop. All right, here we go. All right. So we're gonna ride through Sonic here for a second. Something you don't get to do every day. Just ride on this backside. Oh, that smells good. I smell chili cheeseburgers, tater tots with cheese. I smell all those excitotoxins. I smell them. I smell the excitotoxins. I'm getting excited. It's toxic, and I'm excited. All right, on this side, these screens are not really working that good on this side. So I guess the stream is still up. My screen is a little darker. I guess my phone has gone into some type of protection mode because the screen's darker. I can't read the chat as well. So if you want your car washed, we went through here the other day. That's where you get your car washed. at all these people getting their car washed. Look at that truck. Now that truck right there, let's check it out. Let's see what gas costs. Gas is super unleaded is $5 a gallon. The medium grade is 4.6. And the cheap stuff is 3.9. And diesel is 4.7, 4.8, $4.80. So that new electric car that GM's coming out with is $300,000. That truck right there, that white truck, you could probably get that thing right now for $60,000 or $70,000. So would you pay $60,000 or $7,000 for that truck, or would you pay $300,000 for a GM electric vehicle where the battery is going to have to be replaced, or the battery is going to burn up when you're charging it, like their last recalls? I never got into that, but the reason why GM's having so many problems selling their vehicles is because the batteries are burning up when they're charging them. They went low bid on the battery management board instead of using a higher quality board. And the battery was it was getting overcharged, and that's the bad part about a lithium battery is if you overcharge them, they supernova. There's a lot of traffic today. Are we having fun yet? Let's go through the grocery store parking lot. All right, can we do this without getting run over? Yay! All right. Let's go up on the sidewalk here. Up. This is going to be tricky. Can I make it through here? Yep. What is this lady doing? Come on. Thank you very much. All right. Let's ride through the grocery store on a bike. That would get me arrested. All right. I said I was going to go through the neighborhood with all the cookie cutter houses. I guess the stream is still up, so we can do that. All right, where was I? Speed bumps are everything that's evil. So this is how bad it is. Look at that, drive-through drugs right next to the grocery store. We're so addicted to pills and our doctors that we have drive-through drug stuff now. It's 2 lanes. That's a 2-lane drug drive-through, pill popping. Look at this, just in case you think I'm lying. Right next to the grocery store, right there. It's 2 lanes. And people are getting their drugs to pop their pills. And where did they get the pills from? They had to go to a doctor. And what does the doctor do? They push the pills on you. They're drug pushers. They're the biggest drug pushers out there. It's evil. Sad. If you're stuck with that pill popping routine, you might want to fix that really quick. Because there's no point in having guns, bullets, gold, seeds, and all your silver buried in your backyard. And if you're going to buy silver or gold, I would recommend silver if you're into collecting metals. So if you're a metal collector, silver is a medicinal metal, more than gold is. So there's a reason why silverware is what it is. Silver has a frequency to where it's kind of antibacterial in a way. So silver. Go through China Mall parking lot. So yeah, here's all those cookie cutter houses. They're everywhere now. But if you don't have your health, you don't have your wealth. So stop prepping. Focus on your health first. Because everything else is pointless. You're just spinning your wheels. It's not going to matter. And it's not going to be ready, set, go, crap hit the fan. It's a slow burn, like right now. You know, what they do is they blow up the food supply system. They get rid of the baby formula to lower the population. So the new millennials, or whatever generation's out now, they won't have kids. They'll be too afraid to have kids because there's no formula when you're not supposed to be feeding your baby formula to start with. And oh, here we go. Well, what if you can't produce milk? Well, that means you got some kind of metabolic issue to start with. And you might want to think about having kids if you don't have perfect health. Because do you really want to raise a kid or attempt to in this environment? So that lady didn't have a blinker on. How did I know she was going to turn? Do you really want to raise a kid in this environment and not have good health? Is that something you really want to do? Maybe you got your priorities wrong. So let's do a little people watching while I stop and drink some water. Let's see what kind of mask count we get here. See if we got any maskers. So remember the other day, the guy that works here said that he likes wearing his mask. They don't make him put it on anymore. He likes to wear it. So he doesn't have to smile at people. Drinking some distilled water out of a glass bottle. Static. So is the stream buffering? Was the motorcycle overmodulating the mic and clipping the microphone? Is that what you're saying? All right. So I'm going to start a church pretty soon, and we're going to be worshiping somebody in that church. Who do you think that's going to be? Actually, we're going to change our worship. So it's going to be different people. It's going to be a church that we should not ever have. You should never worship a man. But we're going to start a church like that. We're going to worship Fauci. Hail Fauci. Hail Fauci! We're going to be worshiping Fauci. We're going to worship Elon. All right, here we go. We got some maskers now. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. Look at that. Wow. Whatever that was. But yeah, they both had their mask on really tight because everything else is toxic around them except the freaking tattoos that they had. Those weren't toxic. All that ink wasn't toxic. Nope, that's not in their bloodstream. They had pins and needles stuck in their face, colored hair, look like they haven't bathed in a year, but they're worried about the Rona, so they're wearing a mask at China Mart. That's the world we live in. So yeah, I'm starting a church. We're going to worship Fauci, Elon, and put in the chat who we should be worshiping in this new church. Because we're going to start worshiping man like the government wants us to. We're going to worship government too. Because that's what we need to be doing. So, here's a thought. If you have to ride around on one of those things, and you're buying stuff to put in them, it's going to make you sicker, you might want to address that issue first, so you're not on one of those things. If I was in control of anything when it came to consumption and shopping, there would be no motorized carts. If you're not healthy enough to go shopping, you don't need a piece of crap made from China. You don't need those donuts. Now we're getting into the wind. Let's see. Where can we go that would be different? Look at this. So here's a solution. If you're too sick and unhealthy to pick up your stuff made from China, you can call it in, and somebody wearing a mask can come and deliver it to you, like this guy. He's got his trunk opened. He's got a man bun. So this person right here is doing that. That was probably a chick. You can't tell nowadays if it's a chick or a dude. I'm saying it was a female at this point now. And sucking on one of those fake cigarette things. Because you know that's better for me. So there's another addiction. What is it telling you? Nope, I can't leave the house without it. Oh, something stinks around here. Check this out. Oh, there's a car. We're going to turn quick. Look at the ooze coming out of this dumpster. That's what smells. Whatever that is not happy time. That's some nasty stuff. That's nasty. I worked at the Pace County plant in San Antonio, Texas for a long time, running cabling. So when you're a fiber optic structure cable guy, phone guy, you get to go in all the places that even the people that work there don't get to go. The catwalks, the phone closets, the janitor closets, all those things. And let's go back up this way. So you get to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. And at the Pace Pecani hot sauce place in San Antonio, they had trash cans full of onions. Now this is not stuff they used for their product. These are the onions that I guess didn't pass inspection or whatever. So they would throw them in these trash cans and set them out beside the dumpster, because the dumpster people, I don't think, wanted those nasty onions rotten and oozing out of the dumpster. I'm pretty sure that's why they did it. I'm not exactly sure why. But the smell inside that place was pretty intense, with all the onions and garlic and all that stuff for making hot sauce at the Pace Pecani plant. So when I came home, I smelled like that place. So that was one time, you know, when people say don't take your homework with you, take your work home with you. Well, I took my work to my house every day smelling like a paste pecani factory. Didn't have a choice there. Alright, so here we're at Quick Trip. This is where I get ethanol-free gas. Let's see what it costs. This is where I get my gas for everything. It's $4.40 for ethanol-free gas. So there we go. This right here is a barbecue place, Southside Barbecue. It's a big operation. Y'all remember the movie What's Eating Gilbert Grape? It was filmed in this right over here. There was a little building right here where they had the little circus parade. They had the little parade come into town. It's filmed right there on the left. There was a little bitty building that they built. Actually, it was probably right. Yeah, it was somewhere right there. Oh, it smells good. Makes me want to go in and grab some barbecue right now. But I didn't bring any cash. This used to be an old bank. We had, this was actually our old, we had something to do with this bank when I was a kid. Security National Bank building. Right here, my family had a lot to do with that. This was the Security National Bank building, and there's still a vault in this place today. It's there on the right. Maybe we'll go in there and we'll have barbecue one day. But yeah, maybe I can find some pictures of when this was a bank back then, when our family was involved with this bank. It was called Security National Bank. Back in the 80s, I was a youngin'. So yeah, it's a lot bigger place now. They've added on to it. This was all just like grass and dirt land. And they turned this all into a parking lot right next to Sonic. So we're back over here by Sonic. Here's another thing, storing our stuff. All right, if you got stuff in storage, you might want to figure out how to get rid of it, sell it, because it's not doing you any good. If you haven't used it in the last 6 months, that's what I've been working on, is to get rid of it or sell it. Give it away, sell it away, wish it away, whatever. Just get it out of your, it's baggage, okay? Whether you realize it or not, it's baggage. It's holding you down. And if you're having to pay to store your stuff, it's holding you down in more than one way. It's holding you down monetarily and mentally. Now, can we get across here without getting run over? Yep. Alright, so we're back over here at Sonic. Kind of want to cross the road and get back over there. Let's see if we can do that. I can smell Sonic now, and the taco trailer, and yeah, I don't know about this. We're not going to cross right now. That's just too much. So we'll go the back way. You know what would be good right now? Is some fries with a vanilla shake malt. Here's a 2x4 right here. It's a piece of wood that probably costs $1,000 now. I want to take this piece of wood back with me. Can I ride back with this piece of wood in my hand the whole time? That's the question. It's a good piece of wood. And people are just running over it like it's no good anymore. Maybe we'll do something cool with this piece of wood. If I can continue holding it without dropping it. So that's a challenge. Can you hold a piece of, it's about 14 inches long, 2x4. Did you know the new 2x4s are not the size of the original 2x4s? They've changed over the years. They've been getting smaller. Yeah, go look that up. All right, so we're gonna go back through here, and we're gonna go the back way. Yeah, so if I didn't look crazy enough already, talking to myself, riding barefoot on a bike, now I'm holding a piece of wood. Yeah, this is the piece of wood we found in the, what was that, the Dairy Queen parking lot? But yeah, it's a brand new piece of wood. You don't want to throw that away. Oh, we're getting a Burger King. Check this out. I think it's a Burger King. Here's another place I won't get to eat anymore. This is probably where that piece of wood came from. Right there. Pretty sure it's going to be a Burger King. Let's see if there's a sign. Well, they had a sign up here. You know, it looks like construction has stopped. I wonder if their financing fell through. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. I haven't seen them working here in a while. Huh. What do you think? You think, what do you think's happening there? All right. Well, we'll check on that the next time we go riding to see if there's any progress. So it's 100 degrees right now, so it's a lot cooler than earlier. So let's hope that the stream is stable enough. What I might start doing is use a Zillow. I've got a Zillow app on my phone, and somebody can read the chat for me in my ear, but that's distracting sometimes when I want to rant. I know I tried that once before. I think it was more distracting before because the channel was a lot more active. So now that the chat's not so, wish this person would go around me. I don't know what it is about people, but there's plenty of space to go around me. You don't have to make a spectacle. Like, look. What was that all? Whatever. I guess maybe he was looking at me holding this piece of wood. Like, oh, that guy, he's poor. He's going out and collecting pieces of wood. No, I'm keeping this piece of wood because it's got some cool tire marks on it. And it's going to be like a part of my stream now. This piece of wood is. It's hard to shift with this piece of wood in my hand. But I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm bringing the wood back. Hell yeah, I am. It's another challenge, right? You can't bring a piece of wood back when you're riding a bike. Then you're not in good shape, right? Alright, so let's ride by. I know the wind is loud, so I can so this is the building where I have to go get my money. I So it's the Bastrop County Annex Building. This is where you have to pay your taxes for your tags. This is where it all helps. See, look at that. JP and Tax Office. Justice of the Peace and Tax Office. Taxing is thievery. All tax is theft. All tax is theft. All tax is theft. So some of the biggest criminals and thieves work in this building. They work for our evil system. If people would not work for evil systems, the evil systems could not stay together. So anybody that works for the IRS, Big Pharma, Big Ag, Big War, Big Tax, shame on you. So this is where I refuel my propane tanks. You can get chicken tractors. Right there is a little chicken tractor. It doesn't have wheels, but you can put wheels on it and make your own chicken tractor. See, that's Elgin General Store. And that's where you get your refuel your propane. So this is your propane refilling place. And it's about 2 miles from the house. Maybe a little less, so that's a good thing. So earlier in the week, I was talking about one of the big problems with the world we live in is people live too far away from their family, their jobs, things that they need to exist. And what does that do? That causes separation, anxiety, debt, famine, health problems, scarcity, you name it. People are sitting in their cars way too long, driving to their job. And in order to do that, you have to have a decent car to get you to work. So that car payment's going to be, you know, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 a month. Depends on what you get. If you buy the new electric vehicle from GM, it's going to cost you about $4,000 a month. That's affordable, right? $300,000 vehicle. Again, if you can afford a $300,000 vehicle like Loud Red in the chat room, she said she can afford that. Good on her, but that's above my pay scale right now. I'd have to sell my property to be able to afford a $300,000 car. And then what would I do in that car? Drive it around to all my friends and say, look, I'm stupid enough to buy a $300,000 electric car. What is the battery going to cost and something like that when it goes out? How much is that battery going to cost? Still got my wood. And this is evening wood. This is not morning wood. It's kind of afternoon, evening wood. So don't mistake this wood for being morning wood. Alright, here comes a truck. It's kind of heading towards me there. I was getting concerned. So yeah, here's another crazy, I've been saying this for years. All vehicles should be limited to 15 miles an hour. vehicles can go no faster than 15 miles an hour, look what that would do to our food supply, our families, our work environments, and the vehicles. Guess what vehicle in this town can go faster than 15 miles an hour and go all day long when the sun's out on sun power? My solar cart. So if all of our vehicles were limited to 15 miles an hour, I'd make Elon Musk look like a mental midget with his Teslas. Hey, there's another piece of wood, that's too big. So my solar golf cart can go 20 miles an hour, but we want to limit the speed limit to 15, because you know people are going to speed. They're going to go faster than the speed limit. They're probably going to go 20 miles an hour, 22. So that's when we give them tickets, right? Nope. We wouldn't give them tickets. So we wouldn't have cops to give people tickets. So we need to limit the speed limit on all vehicles to 15 miles an hour. Then all vehicles can be solar powered during the day, and at nighttime they can run on a little generator, and that way we don't have this white knuckle running out of electricity problem. You have a propane generator that would run your little generator, or diesel generator. You pick your generator. So you can have propane or diesel, and at nighttime your vehicle ran on propane, daytime it ran on solar power, and if you were limited to 15 miles an hour, see, I don't get it. That guy was like, why couldn't he just go around me? Whatever. That would fix a lot of problems. Your grocery stores would be more local. Your shopping would be more local. Everything would just kind of work. And you could go 15 miles in 1 hour, okay? So in 1 hour, you could get 15 miles away from wherever you're at. So in 2 hours, you could go 15 miles away to get to where you want to be. Of course, that's not doing your shopping. So let's say it took you about 30 or 40 minutes to shop. So let's say 3 hours. If you needed to go 15 miles, you could. Now let's put this in perspective. All right, this is going to blow your mind. I live about 15 miles from Austin. 15 or 20 miles. The vehicles that we have today can go 100 and something miles an hour. The speed limit is 65, 70. All right, now listen to these words coming out of my mouth. The speed limit is 65, 70 on Highway 290. And to get from Elgin to Austin, sometimes it takes over an hour, depending on the traffic. So if all vehicles were limited to 15 miles an hour, it would be safer, cheaper on gas. There wouldn't be head-on collisions that are killing people. I think this guy's going to go this way. Yep. Nope. All right, I got something on the bottom of my foot sticking me. All right, so if everything was limited to 15 miles an hour, you could get to Austin just as fast as if you were in your car that could go 60 or 70, because you're stop and go, you're stop and go, you're stop and go. We wouldn't have all this nonsense of stopping and going, because everybody's in a hurry to go nowhere. There's something sticking the bottom of my foot. So think about that logically. Your vehicle, I could make a solar cart like that, solar powered vehicle that could get you to work. And we don't need to be working 20 miles away from our house, especially with today's technology. most people can work from home. Most people that are working away from home right now are going to be replaced by robots eventually. So, but I can make you a solar cart for about $1,500 with a little bit of profit in my back pocket. And that's not including the cart. Yeah, I definitely got something sticking in the bottom of my foot. Gotta love that. You definitely know you're alive. So, you wouldn't have to put a loan out on your cart. And if you did have to make payments on the solar cart that I'm making for you, it'd be short-term payments, low interest, and all that good stuff. So we're easing back to the home front here. So I know that sounds crazy, but I've been saying it for years, not just for this stream. You can ask my dad. Every time I talk about it, he probably thinks I'm crazy. But I've told him for forever now that we need to limit the speed limit on these vehicles to 15 miles an hour. Yes, I said 15, not 50, 15. And that will fix a lot of problems in the world. And then for emergencies, like if somebody's having a heart attack or something like that, you would have a lane for emergency vehicles only. And I would get rid of all commercial air flight. No more airplanes for just tinkering around going on vacations. We have no business going on any vacation when the world's in the state that it's in. That's foolishness. That's not responsible. You got your priorities wrong. And I see people on Facebook all day long posting pictures of themselves on vacation, showing off that they're eating $50 steaks. They're on cruises, but you look at their health, they're probably 50 or 60 pounds overweight, and they're probably popping pills the whole time they're there. And you got your priorities wrong. So you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. I've always been the type to offer up solutions, but I do always rant about the problems, because without me knowing that there's a problem there, I don't know that I should be offering up a solution. I kind of like riding with this piece of wood. I still got the wood. But I've always been the type to, yes, I see the problems and I offer up a solution instead of just complain about it all the time. My solution to the pollution is 15 miles an hour. Okay? Greta Thunberg, Al Gore, Joe Biden, you don't have the balls enough. Well, I know Greta doesn't have the balls, but Al Gore and Joe Biden, y'all definitely don't have the balls to say something like that, because that's a real paradigm shift. That's crazy talk, right? No, here's what's crazy talk. Buy a $300,000 electric vehicle, and that's gonna lower your carbon footprint. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. But if we lower the speed limit on all vehicles to 15 miles an hour, everything has to be redesigned. Okay? You work closer to home. You don't live so far away from your family. So your family can't live that far away and you still visit them. You would really have things fixed pretty quick. You wouldn't need all these stupid cars that go 250 miles. So actually an electric car would be feasible at 15 miles an hour. Okay? That's what I'm getting at. I used to be the guy that had to drive from Elgin to San Antonio every day to make a living. I was on the road it was dark when I got in my truck and dark when I got home. All right, and I was doing that to make a living, to get away from the house, from the environment that I grew up in, which to me I didn't like. And I saved up money. I was homeless for a while, and lived in my truck. I used to have a truck to live in, and saved up money and built a house. I saved up like $16,000 back in 1993 or 4, 5, 6. Chunk of money, because it only cost me $72,000 to build my house back in the 90s. So still got my evening wood here, so we're doing good with the wood. So the solution to the pollution is not solar panels, it's not wind generators, it's not electric vehicles, it's 15-mile-an-hour speed limits. And it could easily be done. You wouldn't need these big, heavy-duty vehicles. You wouldn't have to have an electric vehicle that had these huge battery packs. And the cars could be lighter and cheaper. When you buy an electric vehicle, you're paying for the battery. You're paying for the battery in these electric vehicles. Just to replace the battery on some of these electric vehicles, brand new, is anywhere from $8,000 to $16,000 to $20,000, depending on the battery chemistry and the size of the battery. And you could buy, well, back in the day, you could buy a used car, a really nice vehicle, for $8,000 or $9,000. So technically, you could buy 1 or 2 used vehicles for the price of a battery replacement for an electric vehicle. And the reason why the batteries are so big and expensive, because people want 300-mile range. And that's all they talk about on these electric vehicles now. If you watch these electric vehicle channels, and I watch them all, this is all they brag about. 0 to 60. It'll go 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds or 2.3 seconds. What difference does that make? Now, if I was 18 again, that would make a difference. And yeah, I love off-the-line torque. I'm a gearhead. I love spinning tires, the smell of rubber burning, the sound of an engine roaring, that instant torque. I love that. But am I going to spend $70,000? All right, what do we have beeping here? We got an inverter beeping, which means that battery that I put in line, still not a good battery. All right, so we got to address that. That's all right. Well, I had to test the battery out. So much for that. I'll give it one more day to charge, and then that battery's going to be recycled. But yeah, one of those batteries that I was going to recycle, I saw that it was it still have 12.5 volts in it. It's like, okay, that's a good battery. So here's our wood. I'm going to wash our wood before I put it on the studio. It's somewhere in the studio. So, oh, who's playing in the house? Got my own concert from Poker Face. All right. We're going to spin around here. I guess here's the cool part. I'm going to buffer probably. So if I buffer, I'm aware of it. But you can kind of give me a heads up in the chat. So now I can just take the gimbal off. Just like this. See, like that. And there's my gimbal mount. Right there. I'm going to cool the phone off for a second. That's a pretty good workout riding with that piece of wood. Here, let's give her a piece of wood. So it's a little disappointing on that battery, but they were sitting on the back porch for a while. We're going to go wash our piece of wood. This is the one we found in the parking lot. It's going to be a special piece of wood. Still got the tag on the back side of it. All right, so we got an inverter beeping, and I put that inverter inside this computer case. The only reason why it would beep is because it saw low voltage at one time. I'll have to address that. Let's wash our piece of wood. It shouldn't have seen low voltage if the batteries are still up to 13 volts. That inverter actually got wet one time and stopped working because it got rained on. Actually, it was just heavy moisture because there's a lot of humidity here in Texas. So it was so much moisture that the inverter, I had to take it out and put it in a case to where it wouldn't get moisture. Maybe it overheated, but it's not doing anything. So I'm going to have to address that. Maybe that battery still is good. So I got bit some more today with the fire ant action. So just when you think my legs are not going to look like... But yeah, I got like 3 more bites on my toes today. All right, I'm going to drink some water and then we're going to fix this beeping real quick, because that's driving me nuts. And we'll test out this inverter. I guess I just need to mount that inverter up higher. Let me see if I can reach the power switch back here. I bet it's got an insect in it. Uh-oh. That's not good. Yeah. That's a $200-something inverter. Wonder if it's got critters in it. Well, we'll leave it turned off. That's lame. That thing's been abused. So, water. All right, so it's not buffering yet. All right, it'll probably buffer in the house. Water, good. I'm gonna put the tripod on the bottom. This tripod on the bottom of the gimbal here. All right. Let's see, how far did we ride today? I don't see, am I still live? Yeah, it says 24 people are watching. I don't see in my dashboard. Let me go to my channel. That's weird. Your channel. Says I'm live. Yep, there I am. That's weird. I don't see, am I still live? Yep, I'm live. We're doing it live. All right, it's a little warm in the house. There we go. So for some reason, all right, I'm gonna go turn on the another window unit here. I did some rewiring yesterday on my system, so I split my loads up a little more evenly to get ready to expand my solar system. So I put more load on this side of the house, and I think that's going to work better with my setup, because here's the back solar system set up. I know you can't see it, but there's a charge controller, and the batteries go out through the house right there. If you're not willing to put a hole in your house, then don't put solar in your house, because you're going to be drilling some holes. And I make big holes. All right, let's go grab our piece of wood. All right. So now here's our forever piece of wood, our evening wood here that we got from one of our rides. So we'll have to do something cool with that. We'll put that in the house. Yeah, this gimbal's acting weird. Buffering. All right, so here we go. I got the buffer. So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna see if I can switch to Wi-Fi. All right. And we'll see if it'll switch to Wi-Fi. And I'm going to leave my cell data on for a second to give it a chance to figure out which access point it's going to switch to. And then I'll turn my cell data off. And if the stream dies or it crashes, then I might start a stream a little bit when I cool off. So, not here, stream still strong. All right. So if it's buffer, a 2 in the chat if it's buffering for you. And if it's not, put a 1. 1 is good, 2 is buffer, bad. 2 bad, 1 is good. Right. So yeah, I was going to take these batteries back today, but I discovered that some of them still had some life left in them. So I swapped some batteries around. But here's the other ones I washed off to get ready to put on the cart. So we're going to probably haul 5 batteries to AutoZone. And see, nobody's putting anything in the chat, which makes me think I'm still buffering. All right, well, I'm going to technically end the stream just in case. I'm going to kill my cell data. And if the stream drops, love you all. I might see you later. And if the stream stays up,